All right. All right. So welcome to the meeting. We just talked about some of that stuff. Hopefully everybody's in a good spot there. And again, if not, you can finish up later. Before I get there, I should probably introduce myself for the new people. I'm Coach Wadensterna. I saw some of you at the Ice Cream Social. For the newbies, welcome. Glad you're here. This is going to be my 10th year coaching, and I really can't believe it. It feels like yesterday I just started out. So I'm really happy to be here. I love doing this. So thanks for making it the best. Looking around, and I mean, there's a lot of you here. It gives me a lot of joy getting to coach this team. So thanks for being here, and thanks for showing the commitment for the team. So a round of applause for yourselves. Thanks for being here. All right. We're going to start here. We're going to start with a couple of questions. I'm just going to set my timer for about a minute, and I want you guys at your table as best you can, concisely, to go around and just look at that first question. Why are you here? Let's talk about that one first. Okay, so right now in your groups, just go around real quick. And your answer cannot be because Coach said I had to come. All right, let's come back together. Okay, quiet down. All right, I need a volunteer to share what you or somebody at your table said about the first question. Hopefully something besides, Coach said I had to come. I mean, obviously, I said this is an important meeting, you got to be here. But what did you hope to get out of tonight? Maybe it's another way of saying the question. Any volunteers? Yeah, go ahead.
It's a fantastic way to stay in shape, and the community I had freshman and sophomore year, freshman year I came because I wanted to get that gym credit, but after the freshman year, I realized that cross country was a lot more than just that, and it's a great way to focus on yourself and just get better through running and endurance. Just better yourself.
Good, yeah. So Matt is kind of getting at the fact that, the joys of the sport, what you can get out of it, the community that comes from being a part of the team. Specifically about tonight, anything you're hoping to hear tonight or learn tonight? Or you're just hoping to get a little information? Because I'll provide that. But maybe the more interesting question is the second one. What do you want to get out of the season? I think this one's probably a little easier to answer. Probably have a lot of different answers around there. Any volunteers that want to share what they're hoping to get out of this season?
I want to get a new 5K personal record and make some new friends.
I just want to have fun.
This table.
I have to break 19 minutes for a 5K.
All right. I'm sure that's just a small smattering of many different types of goals you guys have, both social and also hopefully more so with becoming a great teammate and a great participant and contributing a lot to the team. All right, here's the coaching staff. You guys probably recognize us because we've been together for a few years. Most of the same staff will be intact this year. Sam, Coach Files on the left, me, Coach Kotchek, Coach Rowe, Coach Bennett is here tonight. Raise your hand, Coach Bennett. There he is. And Coach Alex is on the far right there. He's track coach. So if you did track this year, you obviously has some further interactions with him. All right. I'm going to invite the leadership team to come up for your stuff as you see your names or when you know your slide's coming up. A couple of nights ago, me and the leadership team met to talk about some stuff for the season, to set some norms, some expectations, and talk about just some logistics and some structures for how we can have a optimally successful season. So because I'm the coach, but this is your guys' team. You guys know that, right? This is your guys' team. You guys are deciding where we're going to go. I can scream from the rooftops everything I want to say, but ultimately it's your guys' decision how good we're going to be this year. Okay. So in that vein, I decided that the leadership should be contributing some of this information. So they're going to just share little bits and pieces of information tonight alongside some stuff that I'll share too. So first thing we're going to talk about is the Celtic Way. So anybody doing Celtic Way stuff coming up?
Are you seeing?
I can see.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Mayank. What's up, guys? So C stands for commitment. What that means is you put cross country as a priority over other activities. You make good choices before meets, practices. You uplift your teammates, and you just have fun. So you put cross country first.
You got the next one too?
Yeah. So embracing your team. So that means that you put your team members first before you, and you make decisions that uplift your team members, even if it's at your own cost.
All right.
Hi, I'm Reed. I got nothing else to say, but I'm L, saying lift your physical limitations you place on yourself. Don't get into a routine saying that I can't push farther, I can't do harder, I can't. I mean, we all know you can do better if you just push yourself. Don't be satisfied with, oh, I pushed myself a little, I got better by 2 seconds. Yay me, when you know you can get better by like a whole minute if you really tried.
Yeah, and I doing trust your preparation and process. Big success will come from small successes. So like what this means is that like even though this sport can be hard, I know it can be hard, but like even if you like show like smallest improvement on the first day practice to like the end day practice, like each day the percentage of improvements each time on. Yeah. Actually, can I say a couple more things? So like each time you improve like very little each day, like it will show like end of the year, like in October when track season ends. Because like let's say the first race you did like 21 minutes for 5K, and then when you improve your time, like let's say like 5 seconds each 5K, it shows a big improvement. So like just trust yourself with little improvements. So that's all I have.
I'm Arjun, and the last C is to compel others. Just push all your teammates to be better, as well as yourself. And just focus on what you think is good, and that is to push others. Yeah.
I just talked about the you talked about the
I too. Okay. So I is investor all heart, which is just part. It's also what my own says. Just making cross country like one of your top priorities. It like takes priority over like outside activities, and so you just be committed to the team.
Thanks. So going along with the Celtic Way, I created this thing this year called I'm calling the JXC Bullseye. Okay, and it incorporates the Celtic Way that these gentlemen just shared about. They did a great job. Nice job, guys. But it also incorporates elements of leadership. Have you guys heard of this principle called the 90-80-10 principle? You may have heard of it in terms of leadership. You have 10% of the people that are natural leaders. They're right up there. They're leading the team. 80% is somewhere in the middle, and 10 is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So part of what this is getting at is how do we get some of the 80% in the middle? How do we get that more than 80% to join the 10% up top, not the bottom, but on top? Okay. How do we lift our morale as a team such that the people in the middle want to join and become emerging leaders, not just people that show up every day and run a little bit, but people that are really bought into our purpose as a team. And ultimately, these emerging leaders become our next leaders. You guys are the next people that in the next year or 2 or 3, you guys will be up here talking about what this team means to you. Okay, so leadership isn't something that's just for upperclassmen. I want you guys to hear that loud and clear. Some of you are freshmen and you're going to be a better leader than some seniors. Okay, just because of who you are and your character. Okay, and we need all kinds of leaders, all kinds of ages to emerge and to step up. You're never too young to step up and do the right thing. Okay, so we're encouraging that from a young age because we need people heading towards the middle of the bullseye. Because as you can see from the depiction up here, our best team outcome happens when we have more emerging leaders, more coaches and team leaders, more people bought into our purpose, heading the same direction. That's why all the arrows are headed the same direction as well. And on each arrow here, you see elements of the Celtic way. You'll also notice there's something that I tied in from last year. I know this was a little bit of something that was kind of funny to a lot of the teammates, the 212 thing that Dr. K has talked about. In a nutshell, the 212 principle, 212 is the boiling point, of water. Okay, so the whole principle is you get to that point, and you have to get to that point before you can start really making true growth and pursuing your potential. You'll notice that the last element of the Celtic way is after your boiling point, because in my opinion, you can't really compel others to be better teammates and better people unless you are fully bought in and you're in the center of that bullseye yourself. So really, to fully fulfill the Celtic way, you guys have to be completely bought in and making each other better. What happens if everyone's doing that? We have a heck of a team. We have a heck of a community that cares about each other. We're not just here showing up, chit-chatting, jogging a few miles. No, we care about each other. We want to have fun, but we also want to have success. And let me tell you, when you have success, you guys understand this, success is fun. When you win a race, that's super fun. When our team has success, that's so fun, okay? Way more fun than most things you can imagine, okay? So this is something that I may refer to throughout the year, but I just wanted to share that with you guys here, and it's also on the Schoology page. All right, next couple athletes come on up to talk about the team principle.
All right, so everybody knows this Abraham Lincoln quote, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." So what exactly does this mean in the context of cross country?
So I want you guys to just consider the picture a little bit. And I'm sure everybody knows about this quote, but just to put this into perspective, this is the kind of mentality that we're going to have in cross country. And so you want to look at the 3 parts of the house. We have attitude, family, and teamwork. And what this means in relation to the quote is that you can't have one of these 3 things or only 2 of these 3 things. You have to have all of them working together and having a stable foundation so the house doesn't fall apart. If you lose one of these things, then the house is going to fall apart. So you just have to really make sure when you're going into the season, just thinking about these 3 things and balancing them all together.
Thanks, guys. Did you introduce yourselves? This is.
Hey guys, I'm Richard Tang,
You all right?
and I'm a senior. Ooh.
I'm JJ and I'm a senior too.
All right, if you're talking about the training overview, why don't you guys all come up all at once? Even though I'm going to do the first few parts here. Okay, but you guys can come up and get ready for your parts. Okay, so the first thing about the training, because this is something that a lot of people have questions about, even people that are still on the team, or that have been on the team, I should say. it's important, I think, to establish what are we really trying to do here with our training. So just briefly, I want to share this kind of old school versus new school mentality, okay? And this is something that you hear a lot discussed amongst all kinds of sports. And it's no different across country, you know? You hear about, for example, in football, old school, run the ball, you know? You have the same kind of dichotomy here in cross country. What's old school cross country? Old school cross country is just being tough, running and being better than the guy next to you, and being more tough and more courageous than the guy next to you. It's almost like this warlike mentality, okay? And you have new school, which is kind of born of this whole notion of all this data that we have available now, all the strategies that we can form from all this data that we have available to us right now. I can research any runner in Ohio. I can look at how he does in certain courses. I can strategize. I can stay up all hours of the night thinking about how to pick my spots using data and analytics, okay? And I guess when I'm coming up and when the coaches are talking about what kind of training we want to do and how we want to encourage you guys to race, it's a little bit of both of these things, okay? It's a little bit of picking your spots, which is new school, like having a little strategy, thinking about which parts of the course you want to surge on, how you want to attack the course, who you want to compete with. That would be more of a new school mentality. But there's a lot of old school here too. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is it's both and. It's not either or. When we're coming up with the training and we're coaching you guys how to race, it's a little bit of both, okay? Because you have to have both, I think, and I would argue to be successful. You have to have toughness. You have to have grit. You have to be tougher than the guy next to you. You have to want it more than the guy next to you. So that's a little bit of that kind of simple old school, like I'm just going to be tougher than you. But it's also being smart. So it's both and I want you guys to kind of embrace that and consider that as you go through our training and hear about our training. Okay.
Introduce yourself.
Okay, so I'm Jack. I'm a senior, and how cross country is different than different in high school than it was in middle school. So it's definitely tougher. We run about 25 to 30 miles a week on average, but that varies with speed. And then we also have time trials to determine your speed group. And then it's also more organized, where we have distance days where you run, 6, 7, 8 miles. We have workout days where you are working on leg speed on the track or on the cross country course. And then we have recovery days, which are probably the most important days. These are days where you're running like 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30. And these are the days that are going to prevent you from getting injured. It's also more competitive. We have a lot of 20 guys competing for varsity spots, and then also people towards the back also push everybody in front to do better and run their best and be the best person, really.
How long in the races and how many race varsity?
Oh, so we have normally the top 7 race varsity, sometimes the top 10. Races are on Saturdays only, Saturday mornings normally. And the races are normally, 5K. Obviously. I was thinking minutes, but obviously that varies. All right.
I'm Andrew and I'm a junior. So like Jack said, there's really kind of like 3 types of workouts you do throughout the week. There's your long runs on Mondays usually. Those tend to be between 6 to 8 miles. You have workouts and recovery days, Tuesdays through Fridays, and those types of workouts we do are tempo or hill workouts throughout the summer, and interval workouts sometimes as well. And those just they vary based on speed and how many reps you do. And then the recovery days are in between the workouts so that you fully recover for the next day, so that you can hit it as hard as you can. And then on Saturdays we have races, which are, like Jack said, 5Ks, and those will be every Saturday, really from about mid-August to mid-October, with a postseason race as well for the non-varsity.
All right, so I'm Austin Wagner. So hydration is obviously very important if you want to be running at your best. it's recommended that you should drink about half your body weight in ounces, but if you're running, you should be drinking more than that. So you just want to drink as much water as you can until your pee's clear.
Hi, I'm Harrison Moses, and going off what Austin was saying, it's important that the water that you're drinking is spread throughout the day. You shouldn't be drinking it all right before a workout, or else you get like a sloshing feeling in your stomach. And also, the best way to stay hydrated is just carry around the reusable water bottle throughout the day. And at school, they have water bottle refilling stations at all the drinking fountains. Not all of them, but some of them. And you can just refill them throughout the day. So, yeah.
Harrison, can you also speak to eating and stuff before practice?
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit. Same kind of thing.
Yeah. So before practice, it's important to eat something, but you don't eat too much, because if you eat a full meal, then you'll probably get some sort of stomach pain, so you won't be able to run at your best. So before practice, it's good to have something light and healthy. So something like a Cliff Bar that you can just keep in your bag throughout the day, and then after school you can eat real quick is good to have.
What about lunch? What's a good option at lunch?
Good option for lunch. That's a good question. I'd say, try and stay away from fried foods. Those can upset your stomach. Something that has a mix between carbs and protein is probably good to have short-term energy and long-term energy. Some of the best foods to eat are like salads or chicken, or a chicken salad if you want to combine the two. Get adventurous, but yeah. Also, you want to eat a good breakfast. Maybe try and avoid some dairies, because again, those could upset your stomach. Maybe just have a cereal bar.
You guys are going to be burning lots and lots of calories during your workouts. Just even on easy days, you're still going to be burning hundreds and hundreds of calories. And as young guys, you guys need 3,000 or give or take 3,000 calories as it is, even if you weren't running. Okay, so then you tack on you're burning 1,000 calories or whatever on top of that each day. You guys need to be making sure that you're eating enough. And I know this is like almost the opposite problem that some people have. It's like slow down. No, it's for cross country runners. It's eat more good stuff. Eat more good stuff. Lots of chicken, quality carbohydrates, lots of vegetables, fruit. There's really never a bad time to have a quality snack. Throughout the day, you should be kind of snacking a little bit if you can. But here's what happens. If you don't think about it and you just kind of do your typical, eat like, normal, then what happens to a lot of, high school boys is you lose a lot of weight. And then I get emails from parents, or you guys come up to me and say, Coach, I lost 10 pounds. So what are you eating? You guys got to be really mindful of that, okay? You can have your Chipotle burrito. Honestly, you can have two. For all the work you guys are doing, obviously keep things in moderation, but it's going to be important that you guys are mindful of what you're eating as well as what you're drinking. All right, summer training. Okay. All right, so summer training started May 11th, and after the leadership team got together the other night, they decided that they wanted to stick with that spreadsheet that we've used in the past. So I created that for this year, and it's one of the links on the Schoology page. So under materials, you can go on there and you can log your mileage. Please do not wait till the end of summer and then try to remember what you did June 11th. That's stupid. Do it as you go. After you run, get home, get a drink, get a snack. Once you cool down a little bit, log your mileage. Okay, just put it in there. Plus, I want to be able to see what you're doing. Okay. If it looks like you're not doing anything, you may get a text or a call from me being like, hey, dude, what's going on? When in reality, you're doing the work, but you're not putting it in. So that's how I can see that you're doing it, because I don't come every day. I'm only allowed to come to 10 practices a day, or 10 practices over the course of the summer, which is the key workouts, which I'll get to in a second. So long and short of it is make sure you're logging it. I looked before this meeting. Only about, I'd say like 10 of you have logged your mileage so far. So if you've been running, please go in there sometime tonight and make sure it's up to date. I want it up to date at the latest by the end of the week. Okay, you can wait a week and do it all at once if you want, but don't wait me on that, please. Okay. Youth camp. If you're a freshman, you're invited. Okay, and we encourage all the freshmen to come. It's next week, starting Monday through Thursday, and it's from 8:30 to 11:30. A lot of you upperclassmen and also some sophomores are volunteering. We did it for the first time last year. It was a huge success. We had a lot of interest, way more than I expected, and we encourage the freshmen to come just to get further indoctrinated and familiar with the program, because we're going to talk about the Celtic way. Right? We're going to talk about some of the stuff that we've been talking about today, but no, it's not the Celtic way, I promise. No, we run, we play games. games, we have clinics, we have alumni come back and do clinics. We have some of our coaches do clinics. We play games and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you're a freshman, I encourage you to sign up for that. It's still not too late to do that. And a lot of you guys are volunteering, which is a great way to get your summer training kind of amped up a little bit on top of what you're normally doing. You can certainly count that mileage towards your summer running. Summer running champions. Okay, so there's two ways to become a summer running champion. You can hit your summer mileage, which is dependent on how many years experience you have. Starting at 250 miles for the summer for a first-year runner, and it goes up 75 miles per year of experience. So you can do the math on that. Okay, that's one way to hit your summer running mileage. And that's why I asked you to log it, so I can see how close you are, so you can see how close you are and how you're doing. Okay, and I lay out a schedule for what you should be running on that. It's called the JXC overview. I usually print out that packet. If you guys remember in the past, I decided to save about 10 trees this year, and I just put it on the Schoology page. So if you go to that overview on the Schoology page, there's going to be a breakdown week by week of how many miles you should be running, dependent on your summer mileage goal. Okay, but I understand that some of you guys, let's say you're a third-year runner. Okay, some of you guys are not going to be running 400 miles, even if you're a third-year runner. So I offer a second avenue to become a summer running champion. And that avenue would be achieve 80% attendance throughout the summer. Okay, some of those practices I will be at, the majority of them will be led by the leadership team. Okay, and they'll be checking you in for practice. In order to get credit for being there, though, you actually have to do the work. Okay, so if somebody on the leadership team sees you show up, check in, and head out, or walk around, then you're not getting credit. So obviously, that's just something that's probably not going to be a problem. Just wanted to mention it. Okay. So there's two ways to become a summer running champion, and I'm mentioning it because it's going to come into play here in a second in terms of the preseason requirements. But first, key workouts. So I told you there's 10 of those. Any kind of workouts that we do throughout the summer, hill work, some short tempo work or something like that, I will be there for most of those workouts. Okay, and there may be a couple where the captains are leading those, but the vast majority of those workouts over the summer, I'll be there to facilitate those workouts. Okay, and on the distance days where you're just going out and running with friends, those will be mostly captain-led. Almost exclusively captain-led, where you guys will come out, you'll check in, you warm up, and you guys will just hit the road for however many miles you need, okay? And lastly here, what do I do until June 11th? Hopefully some of you guys have started to figure that out. If you're sitting here thinking, geez, I wish I would have started running. We're already a week in, okay, it's okay. You can start, find a friend, okay? Find a friend at your table or somebody at a different table and be like, somebody in your neighborhood, run together. Okay, it's always easier if you're accountable to somebody. Okay, so quite honestly, this is a pretty important thing because June 11th is still a couple of weeks. I mean, still a handful of days away before we start meeting for summer running because we have youth camp next week and stuff. Okay, so a lot of you guys need to talk to somebody and be like, hey man, let's just meet at 10 a.m. Sleep in a little bit. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But you ought to find a buddy to run with so you can get your mileage going. If you wait till June, it's going to be hard to hit your summer mileage goals. Non-key workout days.
Are you talking on this too, or is there another one?
I'm on the bottom.
Go ahead.
I'm on the bottom.
Okay.
Alright, so for non-key workout days, if you guys are really committed and want to run, we still want you to be here and want you to show up. They're going to be easy days that'll help you get some mileage underneath your feet and help you ramp up your stamina so that we can have a good season. They'll be captain led. You guys will check in with us and we'll warm up, go on an easy run for 30, 40 minutes and get out of there. It'll be fun.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Travis.
Thanks, man.
How do I do this?
Alright. I'm Will. On Monday, we're going to start doing more team building activities. On Mondays, after practice, we're going to do stuff like ultimate frisbee and capture the flag. And then also on Thursdays, we're going to start doing things at like Avery and playing basketball, volleyball, and soccer. Thursdays.
So that's intentional. One of those, the Monday one is after practice. So that's going to be easy. If you come on Monday, you just stay, play ultimate frisbee, get to know your teammates a little better. Okay, it's important. It's really important that we get to know each other, freshman to senior. Okay, it's really easy to get clicky. Okay, at your tables, it's easy to get clicky in your tables here. Okay, But if we're going to be a team that really cares about each other, not just our friends sitting to our left or to our right, but care about the person at the table 3 down from you right now, we got to hang out. We got to get to know each other. Okay. The easiest way to do that with a big team like this is to do team building activities. So that's why the leadership team and I decided this was going to be something we started this year. Okay. One thing that it wasn't on the list, but I want to mention it. Coach Willette, the girls' coach, is going to be leading weight room stuff on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. So if you're somebody who wants to get in the weight room, I totally encourage that. I'm totally on board with it. I didn't put together a weight training schedule, but Coach Willette actually did. And she told me before this, she's like, hey, if any boys want to hop in to the weight training, I already have a schedule ready to go. And so if you are interested in that, you can go Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. And the girls and the boys will be doing that together. Okay. So I just wanted to mention that.
After June 11th.
That will be starting that week after next. Yeah, that week of June 10th. June 11th is a Tuesday. That'll be the first day we meet. All right, preseason fitness requirement. This is a little new this year. Not a ton new. 3 criteria though. The first one is a summer running champion. That's why I told you about how to become one. Okay, so if you become a summer running champion by either hitting your summer mileage or attending 80% of practices, you've met one of the 3 criteria before the season even starts. Okay, are you required to become a summer running champion? No. But if you don't become a summer running champion, then you're going to have to hit the next 2. Okay, one of which is I should say not new, the preseason target time. That's still in place. The same calculation that it's been in the past for you returners. It's 105% of your PR pace from your best time from last year. And you only got to keep it for 2 miles or 3 miles if you wait until August. Okay, so that is not a new thing. And this preseason target time, that's only for returners. If you're a first-year runner right now, you're like, what the heck's a preseason target time? Don't worry about it. You'll have to do it next year, though, if you continue on with the team. Okay, so everybody has to hit their preseason target time, and then one of these 2 others, either the summer running champ or the 4-mile time trial. Okay, returners 34 minutes, 8.5-minute pace. Okay, 36 for first-year runners, and if you don't hit it on the first try, then you can stay on the team until school starts, and then we're going to do it again. And if you're still really far off that time, then we'll probably have to have a conversation about, is this the best fit? Okay. I want you to be here if you want to work hard, but I feel like there has to be some kind of standard here. We can't have people running around town, 12-minute pace. Coaches don't know where you are. It takes you, an hour and a half to do a 5-mile run. It's just not safe. It's not appropriate. There's better options if that's the boat you fall into. If you're sitting here thinking, oh, geez, coach, like that's kind of where I'm at. Like, good news, you got all summer to get in shape. Okay. Every single person in this room, regardless of how fast or slow you are, has the ability to run 34 minutes for 4 miles. Everybody in this room, your high school boys. Okay. My pregnant wife could do this. Okay. A few months ago, you guys could do this. Okay. You guys can do this. So it's not too late. That's why we're encouraging the summer run. You got to get here. You got to get here. You got to train. Okay. And if you do that, 34 minutes is going to be no problem. Okay. But notice this: you must hit the preseason target time at least one of the other 2. Does that make sense? So all the returners have to hit this, and then one of these others. Okay. First year athletes, all you got to do is hit criteria number 3. That's it. Okay. So you got to run 36 minutes for 4 miles. 4 miles in 36 minutes, I should say. That's it. Any questions about the criteria? Okay, I'm going to pull up some of these bullet points, and these guys can come on up.
Sorry. Thank you.
Hello, fellow teammates. My name is William Tarrant. I will be talking about a day in the life of a JNC runner for the summer portion, and then my friend Zach will be doing during the school portion here. So during the summer portion, we will be meeting here at Dublin Jerome out there by the track every morning, 8 a.m., Monday through Friday. As we've mentioned earlier, practice usually isn't too long. I'd say like an hour or less on most days, unless we have a long run day where we're doing like 6 to 8 miles. If you're concerned about like the summer running champion, an easy way to get that is if you come to practice during the morning, let's say you only run 4 miles and you're concerned about hitting your mileage because maybe you have to run 6 miles, a thing that I like to do is I split it up. I'll go out for like a 2-mile run in the evening. Makes it a lot easier to do a 4-mile run and then a 2-mile run rather than just 6 miles. It's an easy way to break it up and continually hit your mileage. As we said, we're going to try and start incorporating new team building activities. So hopefully that's going to like start taking place either here at Jerome or probably Avery. Another good thing to keep in mind is before your runs, when you wake up in the morning, this happens to me a lot, is my throat gets like really dehydrated. It's not really full of water. One of our coaches, you'll meet him later throughout the season, Coach Rowe, he's recommended that once you wake up, you drink 2 glasses of water. No, honestly, like I've done it before. It helps you so much. Gets the blood pumping a lot easier to start out, and you don't feel dead by the end of practice. I think that pretty much covers it for the summer section. So I'll pass it to my friend Zach. Thank you.
All right. So I'm Zach, and I'm a senior. And for the day of a life for a runner during the school year, we're gonna do a new thing. So we're gonna start practices at 3:15 instead of 3:13, or no, 3:30. I mean, so the leaders are gonna start at 3:15 to do dynamics, which is just to get your legs loose. So it's gonna be like just kicks and stuff and some little bit of jogging. And so the dynamics, the core, that's gonna be every day, and we're gonna do like planks and like types of push-ups and stuff, and that's gonna help you get stronger, like your core and stuff. So we're not like focusing on legs, just legs. And then we're gonna do workout 4 out of the 5 days. So on Monday we're gonna do a long run, and that's just a long run. It's just gonna help you. Or it's gonna be a slower pace, and it's gonna be like low pressure type of run. And after that, we're gonna do a workout, which is just helps you get better. It's gonna be faster pace, and then after that, we're gonna do a recovery day, and so it's gonna be not like a long run, but it's gonna make sure like you don't get too tired during the week. And also, you're gonna want to drink a lot, just like Austin said. You're gonna have to drink like a little above half your body weight in ounces, because if you're dehydrated, it's gonna be really bad. It's like a big difference. So yeah, I guess that's it.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Shravan, and so one of the main benefits of joining cross country is that throughout the season, everyone's work ethic will improve. And our team has implemented the no walking policy, and so basically, it's because joining cross country, when you're in cross country and running, the whole point of it isn't just to run until you're tired and stop, right? It's when you're running, and then when you're tired, you continue running, because then the next day you will become a better version of yourself. So basically, by implementing this no walking policy, everyone will continue to become a better version of themselves. And usually walking results in a lot of push-ups, but it's not just for the person that walks. The whole team has to do the push-ups. So basically, it's like your actions isn't only reflected on yourself, but the whole team has to be punished for it. So yeah, just don't make me do push-ups for walking.
All right, I'm Nicholas, and earlier Will talked about team building during the summer, so I'm going to talk about team building during the regular season when school starts. So one of the main team building activities that we do is pasta parties. They're almost every Thursday, and I They're a fun activity where everyone from both the boys and girls team is invited. There will be pasta there, and all of you guys, the athletes, will also bring food. Garlic bread, fruits, desserts, and let's see, what am I forgetting? Drinks. Yeah, so it'll be split up by grade or by last name, depending on the more even split. And basically, these are almost every Thursday. There will be a remind sent out. Remind sent out by coach about when and where it is. And he'll also tell you what to bring to the party. And we don't just eat pasta there. It's also a bunch of fun activities that you get to do with your teammates. There is usually a volleyball net, basketball, soccer, football, that kind of stuff. So you get to go hang out with your teammates, eat a lot of pasta to carb load for your race on Saturday.
Just to add a little further context to what Robin was saying, which was great, in terms of the walking stuff. Just to be clear, if you twist your ankle, okay, you're hurt. I don't want you running, okay. What he was specifically referring to is, just the people that aren't trying hard, okay, and are just walking because they don't want to run. That's a different conversation than somebody who's hurt, okay. So I just want to make that distinction. If you're hurt, that's different. But unless you're hurt, then you should be going hard, or whatever the coaches tell you to do. All right, so this is it. We'll wrap up with this. These people come on up. Matt, you're first.
Yeah. My name is Matthew Sale. I'm a senior. And so Coach Wall talked a little bit about this earlier, but this is a message to every single person on the team. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, we need your leadership now. Leadership is often seen as this big thing where I have to go up and I have to show and I have to lead through every single facet of life. It's not that. It's being a leader in the small moments. When you and your group is going on a workout and you're running and they're starting to slack on the pace and you know that you all can do better, to say, let's keep it going, guys. Let's keep working. That's being a leader. This can be literally anyone on the team. It's just helping out your fellow man and saying, we got this as a team. We can do this. Being a leader can be more than that, but everyone can be a leader in the smallest sense of the word, and we can grow that into the biggest sense of the word. And eventually, you freshmen, sophomores will grow up and can be into the people that we are up here and help lead this team eventually. And do that, we need your leadership now. To the juniors and seniors, we are the leaders. We are the example. It doesn't mean we're only the example. Everyone can be an example, but we have to show work ethic and we have to show determination. Because if we show leadership now, by the end of the season, we'll be unstoppable.
Well said. Nice job. Yeah, so we need your leadership. We need it now. I like what you said, Matt, about leadership in the small things. You have to be able to achieve little bits of responsibility. Whatever the coaches tell you to do, keep your pace, do what we tell you to do, in order to be able to be trusted with more responsibility. So just start by doing the little things right. Okay, start by just doing the little things, sleeping and eating and keeping your pace, etc. All right, what are the next action steps from here? There's a preseason to-do list on your packet that you guys got. It's the third page. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all this because I know you guys can read it, and a lot of you guys have already done some of this. Okay, but I'm going to have you make sure you read it over. I'll highlight just a couple of things. Athlete information is really important, the very first thing on it. You have to do that. You, your parent, have to do that so that you get emails. Okay, otherwise your parents, won't be getting the communication from the coaches and the team, and that could be frustrating for multiple people. So make sure you get that athlete information filled out. Forms, that's on Final Forms again. I'm just kind of skipping down here. Physical, that has to be done. If they're good for 1 year, they carry over from middle school, but you need a physical every year. Mandatory equipment is a team jacket. If you don't have one, you need good running shoes, go to CRC. Reusable water bottle, usable, please. And a watch, digital, doesn't have to be GPS. Okay, and the last one's for the parents there. The last thing on that to-do list is a race for JJ Strong. JJ Thomas is part of our team, and he and his family have put on a race to benefit his battle against cancer, and it's going to be June 15th at the Dublin Rec Center. So that is it's actually one of your options for your second time trial for the summer. Your first time trial for the summer. You could do it either 2 days before at Jerome, the 13th, or you could go out and run that 5K for JJ Strong. So those are two options for your first time trial of the year. Next thing, start training. So we've already talked about this ad nauseum, so I won't say much more about it. But if you haven't started, start now, okay? Because you got to be able to work towards that goal by the time the season starts. First key workout is June 11th. Okay, so that's the first day we'll meet. We'll meet on June 11th for the first time. It's a Tuesday, okay? And I'll be there for that day, and we'll do a workout together, okay? And I'll kind of show you how the summer rhythm will work, all right? There's going to also be time trials, 2 of them, one in June and one in July. And those are opportunities for you to hit your preseason target time if you're a returner. The calendar, I haven't given it to you on paper, but it is available on the Schoology page. If you go on there, click on the overview, you can see the specific workouts for each day, okay? And you'll need to do that some days because I'm not going to be there every day. So team leaders, you'll need to make sure you know how to find an overview to know what we're doing on each day. There's an assignment. It should be very easy if you paid any attention today. There's a little quiz in Schoology that's due June 7th. It's 10 questions or something like that, just to make sure you understand the team expectations and are agreeing to them to be a part of the team. Should take you about 5 minutes. And the last thing is, if you're volunteering for the Healthy Kids Running Camp, you're going to stick around for a couple minutes after we're done here. But before we release, I know it's 7:30, you guys probably won't have things going on, but I want to offer an opportunity for questions. So we've talked about a lot. And if you're new, you may be, a little information overload, or maybe you're a returner and you just want to get clarification. But now would be a great time to ask a question. So does anyone have any questions before we get going? Well, if you think of something, don't hesitate to send an email or whatever, okay? So from here, the majority of you, I hope to see the majority of you on June 11th for the first key workout. Anything in the summer is not mandatory, but it's encouraged. You need to come in order to get that summer running champion stuff, etc. Last thing, please check the calendar. Go into the Schoology page if you didn't do that yet. Get in there, check out the calendar, check out the other links on there, make sure you know how to get to all that stuff. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks for being here tonight, guys. If you're doing Healthy Kids Running Camp, stick around.